Hello, hello. Good evening, y'all. Welcome. This is Nerding Out. Everything nerdy, all the time, every time. My name is Nico.
My name is Gabe.
And yes, good evening. It is currently 7:30 in the evening here in the KSFS radio. And yeah, today we'll be talking about, anything horror related, whether it be movies, TV shows, video games, and anything along those lines. Because, as most people here is aware, Halloween is coming up. And by Halloween, I mean, it's about to come up next week. So, just here just to, just converse and talk about things that we like, in media, as always, here in Nerding Out, and as well as just, talk about some stuff that is interesting in terms of the realm of topics, and such as well. So,
Nico, we gotta hit you with the hard hitting question right away, though.
Oh no, what is
are
the
you
hard-hitting
gonna
question?
be for Halloween?
Oh, that's
Or wait, should give us a hint, and then we'll let the people try and figure it out. Since we have a show right before Halloween.
Oh yeah, Halloween. Well, the thing is that if I had money, I would. This costume is from a gacha game. If anyone here is familiar with gacha games, it's basically mobile games with rolling mechanics like in a casino. But it might be it might be a very like niche thing, especially because this video game is very new. But I don't know how to explain it though, because this is very niche in terms of what I want to be.
I guess just say the character. Or wait, I guess.
I mean, I have
yeah,
one.
We're giving you
I have one. If I had money,
Okay.
and the second one is gonna be, I think everyone will probably know.
Okay, how about this? Okay, it's a gotcha game, right?
Yes.
Niche gotcha game. Let me get 3 guesses, and then you tell me if any of them are right.
Yes.
So is it Honkai Star Rail?
No, I wish, but no.
Genshin?
No.
I don't know. No, I don't know why I said 3. I don't know if
But it's a gacha game. I mean,
is it one of like the anime gotcha game, like phone games?
well, it's a phone. It's a phone gacha game.
Well, guys, I did the best I could.
I did the best. Okay. Blue Archive. Player character,
Oh.
basically.
Yeah, that's weird. I've heard of Blue Archive.
Yeah.
Never seen gameplay of it.
Yeah, I'll be honest, it's a very new gacha game. Like, it's kind of weird to say, but it just released in the West like not a bit ago, and the Japanese, like, how should I say this? The Japanese servers are already finished their like 1 year anniversary, so it's very new, especially.
That's fire.
But
Shout out them.
yeah, it's that's one thing, but the other thing would be Among Us. That's basically it.
Wow, my man.
I'm broke right now, so that's what
Okay.
I'm trying to.
Are you gonna
probably
do like the inflatable one? Or are you gonna do
Oh,
like
God.
are you gonna do the Filthy Frank like onesie like?
Well, the thing is that we'll see if there's availability, but I'm for sure there's going to be at least an Among Us costume of some sort. If it's an inflatable one, I'll probably figure it out. That's gonna.
Yeah, dude.
I need like a pressurized air or something to just do that.
I'm pretty sure you have to like get like a bike pump and actually.
Yeah,
like, pump it
actually, yeah, and that's gonna be pain, but we'll see how it goes though. But we'll see how it goes. Next week we'll be probably pouring costumes and such, but you may never know what happens.
up. Yeah. Dude.
But yeah, just to do some icebreaker stuff. What did you do this weekend? Anything special? Anything interesting
This
that happened?
weekend. No. I guess something interesting that happened today.
Oh no.
So, as many of you know, I work at the Home Depot.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'm forklift certified. So,
nice. Getting a license.
Yeah, I'm expecting to hit 1 million followers tonight after revealing that to everyone on our
Yes,
show.
indeed.
But I got hurt.
Oh.
I'm showing. I don't know how it happened. I literally like smashed my finger a little bit,
Ah.
and then I was like, all right, whatever. It's just pain, right? It felt like
Yes,
the
pain, like
squish.
Naruto.
It was like it was like the squish pain, right?
Yeah.
Not like the I goes cut pain, if that makes sense. So I was like walking around, and then someone was like, "Your hand's bleeding." And I was like,
Yeah, it's kind of weird though, because whenever it comes to like injuries and such, sometimes you don't notice it until you see that, oh, you have a wound for some reason,
Yeah,
which is kind of weird. But I guess that's just part of like, not noticing it, because usually when it comes to people getting hurt, you like feel it and the pain and all that such. But when it comes to like specific, like certain wounds and such, you don't like feel it until you see like, oh, it's there. So I don't know. It's probably just like, probably just folks being focused on work or or something along those lines. I don't know.
That was like my main
that's the
complaint,
case.
bro. Because like this was not that bad. Like I was like, I've been hit a lot harder. No blood, you know what I'm saying? And it's like the human body could be extremely durable when it wants to.
Yeah,
and then
much.
Completely fragile the next second. But yeah, that's my little battle scar from today.
Nice.
And then,
but yeah, I guess just on my part before we start, I think recently I went to the local vintage marketplace at Japantown. It's called OK Marketplace. Just wanted to chill as always after. I haven't been out. I'll be honest. I haven't been outside ever since when I started university. It was just kind of interesting, but yeah, it's a nice place to be in. But also, second portion of that is that I successfully won a camera at eBay.
Let's go.
You still have to pay for it, of course, but in terms of pricing as well, it's a very nice camera. If anyone here is familiar with cameras, the Sony FX30. It's a very like affordable, like a cinema camera from what I've heard, but otherwise it's very affordable. Well, yeah, that's basically the short snippet of our weekend so far. But yeah, let's get started. So horror media, anything horror related. So yeah, it's as always with horror media, it's a very people know it a lot, from scary video games to other monster topic type of
how are you introduced to media or to horror media?
I mean, most people, I think, when it comes to horror have like been introduced to the zombie genre. I think most people like started within that, along those lines, like Dawn of the Dead.
Would you say you're most people?
I guess. I mean, it's more of a, how do I say this? Like it's very, I guess, easy to get into like type of media, like zombie genre. I think a lot of people in terms of video games, people know Resident Evil. Resident Evil, as always. So
the remakes have been really good for Resident Evil too. Yeah, I'm like genuinely surprised. Like they haven't had a miss so far.
Yeah, they haven't had a. I mean, the third one, but even then, it's still pretty solid.
Yeah, it's still pretty good.
Yeah, it's Resident Evil. For anyone here doesn't know, it's a IP by Capcom where it's about zombies. Zombies, and it's the titular city of Raccoon City, where it all started. Basically, you are it's kind of interesting because there's like many different factions, but the main like antagonistic faction in Resident Evil is Umbrella Corporations. They're the ones that like a pharmaceutical company that turned into a bioweapons like esque company, which is kind of interesting on like why. But
creating viruses.
It started with
being the bad guys.
Being the bad guys and such. It's interesting though. It's like a mix of bioweapon enemies and like mercenary type characters that you're up against and such. So okay, Resident Evil 0, right? Resident Evil 0, you play as there's like two people. One is a STARS medic, and then the other is a ex-Marine convict who are stuck in the train, and they had to fight zombies and all that such as well. So yeah, that's an interesting so far. And then Resident Evil 1, I think most people know about it. The Arkley Mansion,
Yeah.
They
iconic rather.
Iconic game. You play as STARS operatives. Jill, Chris, Barry, and then some other minor characters, and then Albert Wesker, which and I think it's a spoiler, but Albert Wesker is a bad guy all the time.
No.
But yeah, it's a very interesting thing because within those types of games, right, they're very isometric. So you only see the perspective of like the camera, like as if you there's like cameras around, right?
Yeah.
So
Dude,
tank
I
controls.
hated that.
Yeah,
Dude.
tank controls and the fact that you don't see like everything is like I think what's scary about it. And
Oh yeah, dude. Like especially like the dog part.
Yeah.
I know you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
but,
so,
like, that
yeah.
was scary, dude. I literally paused the game and I just had to leave, bro. I had to
Yeah,
take
because
a breather.
in terms of what you expect with like zombies, right? You think that they're slow, they're slow when they creep up on you in the large numbers, but no, in Resident Evil, like there's like a bunch of types because bioweapons,
Yeah, exactly.
they do a lot of stuff. I think the most scariest one was the regenerator ones, especially because those ones you can't like take them down
What?
through like normal means. You have to like torch them with fire.
What was the one in? It showed up in like 4. I'm pretty sure.
Which one?
It's like the liquors or something.
Yes. Well, yeah.
Or is that
But
their
it's
official
kind of
name?
weird. Well, they're the lickers, but I think they're
I
kind
hate
of like
liquors, bro.
modified. They're more like lizard
Yeah,
folks. It's
yeah.
kind of weird, but it's just
like- they're just, like,
due to
on-
the area.
Yeah.
What's
they're, like, on
yeah,
all-
just to
all
be clear,
fours.
in terms of like the zombies and stuff, it's not all the same for the most part. For the most part, it's not the same.
Yeah, they always change.
They always
areas.
change in regards to, like the
Uh,
games and the environment and all those such, but they're not entirely the same. I think the most common, the only like normal one that sticks is like just the normal zombies or whatever that are like slow and whatever, and they are in groups. But otherwise, it depends on like the types of like like the type of area they're at. But I think for most people, in terms of like people that like Resident Evil, I think people like 4 more. Resident Evil 4.
4 was like the most iconic. Like before I even heard of like the other series, it was always just the first Resident Evil that I actually like.
Yeah.
Or it was the 4th one that like everyone talked about, and then like every YouTuber was like 4's the best.
Yeah, 4 is the best,
And
all
then
such.
you would always like Resident Evil 1 and 2 and 3 wouldn't have that many like let's plays on it.
Yeah.
And then 4 would have like not million, maybe thousands of
Yeah.
different YouTubers. Like,
Yeah, 'cause it's
doing it.
back. Yeah, it was a very different shift. We went from tank controls and camera, surveillance camera like view to a third person like viewpoint, which is pretty innovative for its time because
100%.
yeah,
dude.
it's when it comes to, like moving right in FPS games, right? You have that safety of just like moving left and right while you're like shooting, right?
Yeah.
But with the original like Resident Evil 4, yes, you're able to like shoot and all that such, but you have to stand still. So the scary portion is especially like those boss enemies as well. You have to like make sure you're actually careful with like
Your movement
engaging,
also,
especially such. So, and we got 5 and 6, which is more of like a weird like.
co-op. I played.
It
the
was
5
co-op, but it was more actiony.
Oh, 100%, dude. The
It was-
action killing moves were so goofy. Like
Yeah, it was.
like. Well, I want to say was it Chris in the 5th? I think
Yeah,
it was
Chris and Aisha is in Resident Evil 5.
Dude, Chris just.
It was a
suplexing them,
very
dude, is so
divergent, like-
ridiculous.
Like departure, I guess, because it went more action. The action, of course, there's the horror aspects of like the body horror, but it was very action. There was no like horror, right?
I feel like the final boss was like the most horror they
Yeah.
did, because it was like a huge bioweapon. You're on a ship. You
Yeah,
have to
you're in a
kill
ship,
it.
and then
And it's
you
like-
have to beat up Albert Wesker,
Yeah.
as always.
Dude, even the Wesker stuff wasn't even like when you first like see he's behind it.
Yeah.
Like even that's not really like scary. He's just like, hey, I'm Albert Wesker, and here's a clone of. What was it? Here's a clone of Jill. Go kill
Yeah,
her.
Jill, I think, was brainwashed. There was a DLC.
Oh,
There was a
yeah.
DLC where it was basically they went back to the mansion, and for some apparent reason, Jill got captured or whatever. I don't know if she. I think she fell off, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, it's revealed, oh, she's alive, and she got brainwashed with like the heart thing. And like, oh, okay. But I think, yeah,
I'm
Res-
interested to see where like.
where it goes.
Yeah, dude.
'Cause, yeah.
7 and 8
7.
just like
Yeah, it was.
almost completely separated from that. Only like near the ends of each game they actually
Yeah.
brought it back to.
What it is,
Starfield,
but
yeah.
it was a very nice thing that they came back to. Of course, it's they brought back at least the horror aspect of it, because it wasn't, there was, there's action of course, but it wasn't like, a crazy over the top thing that you would expect. But it was still, there's still a portion of that in like Resident Evil Village, but it wasn't like as crazy as like
No.
Resident Evil 6, which
Yeah.
is
I played Village. I would say like a lot of the I feel like the horror aspect would be mostly just you not being able to fight back, like in that specific time.
yeah.
Yeah, it's more like chase scary than actual like ambience like scaring you, like the entire thing.
Yeah, pretty much as well. I guess on the topic of video games, YouTube has been a very like huge platform when it comes to like let's plays and all that such as well. And I remember, back in the day, Amnesia was like the most like well-known one in terms of the horror, the PC, like the let's play horror like type thing back in the day.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, I remember I used to, when I first went to the US, right, I was getting used to what the internet was, because back then I only knew like consoles and the PlayStation and all that such as well. I wasn't like very well versed into like the computer. And all of a sudden, I think I know one of my cousins introduced me to this video where it was like a car that was going down like a road or whatever. It was like very yellow, and it was it will, I don't know, I forgot the exact name, but it was a commercial that's not from the US. It's like it was a stop, like it's like like stop, look, drive or whatever type of like safety like video, and all of a sudden it was like a jump scare at the end. I forgot the specific name, but that was basically what
that
encapsulated me like early internet. I'm like, oh,
that
oh no.
reminds me of the maze game, dude.
Oh god, the maze game.
Oh my god, dude, that was so obvious too. It's just like, oh, I can make it, and then it just popping out. It got so many people. I feel like that was like, I want to say that was my very first experience with like genuine horror, where I actually got scared, because I feel like I did not watch any movie horrors growing up. My parents wanted me nowhere near violent movies.
Yeah.
So I would just watch kid movies, and then, hey, they got me an iPad. YouTube was like, scary maze game done, and I was like, what's this? And then I scream in the middle of the night.
Oh god.
Parents beat me in Minecraft.
In Minecraft. Just to be clear, in Minecraft. But yeah, it's YouTube horror back then was very different today, because in today's like aspect of like YouTube horror, from what I've known so far, the most popular one that's been on the rise so far is analog horror. So analog horror is a genre that's on YouTube, that's made mainly to like emulate analog devices like televisions and all that such, and like old, like I don't say old media, that's kind of like, I kind of feel old right now, but like
that's like CRTVs,
CRT TVs, news stations, back in the day when when the internet wasn't like always a thing,
like analog.
Yeah, something like something that's analog, that's not like caught, that's not like
like,
easy to archive, if that makes sense.
Think of all of your devices right now, and think about how they look like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah,
that's basically what they're trying to replicate, and it's a cool way to tell horror. It's like, it adds to it. I feel like grime really adds to horror.
Yeah,
and
very
like
much.
with just like nicer screens, like there isn't really like,
it's not like
really,
very clean, exactly. It's more like
you're able to see more.
Yeah,
and it's like,
the grime is basically like, I guess, what adds to the scare factor, because it's more of like the eerie type of thing. It's not something that you will find on like high production like broadcast, right? That's why the Blair Witch was very popular. It's a documentary style like movie, but it's not, it's recorded in like a camcorder, so it's like it's like real, basically, almost real.
yeah.
One of the, I guess, notable analog horror that I'm keeping up on right now is a series called The Mandela Catalog. It's a analog horror series made by Alex Kirster, and it's basically like, imagine imagine like religion, right? You know, religion,
Yeah.
like God and all those such.
Yeah, I know
Ima-
what religion is.
Yeah, imagine if Jesus was not there. If that makes sense.
Wait, so like there's already like religion established in the world and then it disappears, or it was never
So-
established in the world to begin with?
Imagine if the devil somehow like took over, like a doppelganger, like, so because okay, there's this thing called Gabriel, you know, Gabriel, like the angel, all of such. Imagine if angel got replaced by the devil, and he managed to like tempt like Jesus to like do stuff, but instead
to be a bad guy.
well, it's not exactly bad guy, but imagine Jesus Jesus didn't go through all the stuff that he did, and he basically got like locked up or whatever.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yes, instead of that, he basically that Gabriel just took over. It's kind of hard to explain,
Yeah,
really.
I feel is it like a long is it like one of those things where like you like watch videos and it tells the story through there, or
So yeah, that's just basically like the beginning lore, but basically the main aspect is that there's this thing called alternates, right? Their
Yeah.
main goal is to, you know, replace people with a doppelgangers of themselves.
yeah.
So the thing is with these doppelgangers, you know, they're basically like demons, devils, and all that such.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's more of like a way. It's more of like a way for them to like assimilate with people, you know, like basically shapeshift into the victims that they're taking over. And they right now it's on like the 5th episode, and these episodes like take like a while, and it's mainly through, like, you know, as I said before, analog horror. They go through like televisions and all that such, and the scariest portion is that like if it's more of like a like that situation where if you think about it, they will materialize type of situation. So here, let me like share see the description, because it's a very interesting like aspect of
Is
like,
it on YouTube?
yeah, it's on YouTube.
Yeah, dude.
So let me see.
I love like stories like these because they're always so creative. But man, dude, do they get complicated, dude? Like, I swear to God, dude. Sometimes I just can't, and I just gotta listen to like a Matt Pat.
Yeah, basically, yeah,
like,
the presence
dude.
of alternates to bring to eradicate humanity by coercing victims to psychological torture. Yeah, so yeah, it's very like crazy and such.
The last analog horror thing I had watched, I don't even know. I wouldn't really consider it analog. It's like it was like this game that was created for this guy, and it was
Petscop?
Yeah, Petscop.
Oh
He
yeah,
has-
Petscop. Yeah, that's a very like, it's been a while, but it's
Well, it
it's like a
finished.
it's a PS1S game. But do you know how it finished?
So, dude, I don't remember, but I think like, because I just watched Matt Pat explain it.
Oh yeah.
Yo, he's goated, bro. He's my goat. He
Oh,
explains-
also, Five Nights at Freddy's is releasing it Friday.
Hey, I was gonna keep it a secret until the end, but I'm watching that on
Nice.
Thursday. Actually, I got
Thursday?
I got day before.
You got the midnight ones, the midnight ticket.
No, they for some reason they're showing it on the 26th, like around here in this area.
Oh, what the heck?
So, like I'm getting all the boys, and we're gonna go see FNAF.
Nice.
And then the podcast, you're gonna hear me talk about FNAF.
Yeah, because it's Halloween, you know. See the
I'm not
connection?
gonna lie to you, Nico. I was thinking about doing this entire episode about FNAF lore, and I was like,
Oh my
I was
god,
like,
I'm done.
we could have done it, but I was thinking to myself, dude, an hour trying to explain FNAF lore.
Explain FNAF lore.
Yeah, it's like no images too.
No
So-
images,
so
and then
I
there's like
have to-
other media and stuff. Like, oh
Okay,
my
guys,
God.
I need you to remember
Talk about the Walton files.
seven different names. Okay, you have to remember them throughout the entire thing.
My God, we
or
have
else-
to talk about the Walton files connected with that. It's
Ah,
Walton
dude.
files. Okay, so Walton files is basically like a, I won't say an offshoot, but more like it's inspired by FNAF.
Yeah.
Because it's basically it's about, you know, like a, think of like Chuck E. Cheese, but it's like cursed in one way. But we'll probably talk about it in another episode, because that's gonna be interesting so
Yeah.
far. But But yeah, that's yeah, with the Mandela catalog, it's a lot of like, it's very like interesting because it's still going to this day, and I don't know if this is spoiler, but it turns out that one of the main characters is a sleeper agent in the episode. I don't know how to explain it without people knowing the context, but it's been like hinted throughout. But it turns out that because the thing is that with like the lore, right, is that they don't perfectly mimic human like voices and all of such. They're meant to like torment people with like psychological like torture. But the thing is with these like alternates, if there's like a child that is in contact with them, they probably like steal them off, and they get replaced by an alternate, more like as I said before, sleeper agent. So but yeah, you should go watch it, Gabe. It's pretty interesting so far.
Yeah,
But
I have to catch up on a bunch, dude. Like,
yeah. Well, yeah,
there's been too many cool ones.
there's so much like stuff as well.
Like,
But
do you know which one the one is where it's like you can't stare at the moon? That just
Local
reminded,
58.
yeah,
Local 58. That's
that
like
reminded me of another YouTube one. Actually, two YouTube ones. I just remembered. I did go down a rabbit hole.
oh yes, the rabbit.
One of them is already done, and it's what happened to Daisy something, and it's basically I don't remember if that's the proper name, but basically it's like about this.
It's like another like YouTube horror.
It's YouTube horror, but it's all live action, which is pretty cool.
Ooh.
With some like pictures. Like they don't really like animate anything. It's like either live action or something else. But it's basically like this girl, her dad gets her this pet for her birthday, right?
Yes, that sounds
And-
like Pet Cemetery. So
No, it's not Pet Cemeteries, I swear. But the pet is like weird, or it's like his experiments. Like he's a mad scientist,
oh no,
and then the dad goes missing one day.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Nah.
Is that the exact name especially? I'll probably check it out like after. But because there's
I-
like a bunch, especially
yeah.
like
that live action one was
YouTube horror?
good. Yeah, because like the monster like or the creature starts to like grow up, and it's actually becoming more like human like, and then it gets to the point where it's like it becomes self-aware that it could overpower the girl and like kill her at any time.
this feels like a movie that just been made where it's like an AI. It's like a robotic AI robot that turns into life and begins like doing violence for some reason. I forgot it is, but it's like a recent one. It seems. I don't know if it's the same one, but I don't know. Maybe wrong exactly, but
maybe I just found a
like a-
different ghost story.
oh, but that sounds like something though from like a movie though. I think it may be something, but it sounds familiar.
Yeah, I don't remember the full name. I'll remember it for the next show. And the other one was, where's the sun gone?
Oh, the sun vanished.
Yeah, the sun vanished.
Yeah. Oh, that was interesting.
Yeah, Did they ever continue it? I don't remember.
They finished it. They finished it.
They did.
They finished it.
I remember the last part.
The last part was that the main character, I think, went
Wait,
back.
wait, let me. No. Oh my god.
Well, we don't know exactly because the last video the last video that you see on the Twitter account was Blue Skies.
Yeah. No, for me, what's it called? The last part I remember is he's supposed to meet up with someone else.
Oh, that's like you're way behind.
Yeah, I know.
I was way behind because it's like it's keep in mind with certain like analog horror like formats, if it takes actual days for them to upload.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
more of like an immersion thing. Not
Yeah,
like
that's why I
Yeah.
completely forgot.
Yeah, that's basically how it goes. Not everything is the same, but usually when it comes to like things that are updated over like Twitter, for example, type of like storytelling, it takes actual time for them to like to have them process the story, as if it's like in real time,
Yeah.
with other like shows and all of such, you have the conveniency of them time skipping, but just for immersion like purposes, they put this this thing on like in real time, like segments or such, just to have it like see, oh, it's actually happening, like as if so. You're listening to KSFS San Francisco at beccamedia.net, KSFS/KSFS Radio. KSFS is a service of the Broadcast and Electronic Communication Art Department at San Francisco State University. Some rights reserved under Creative Commons license. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. Gotta, as time passes, we'll probably get that smoother, but yeah, that's how it goes. So horror media, as always, is there let's answer this question. Is there a movie or horror media, whatever, that like scared you so much that you wouldn't sleep at night?
No, I would say video games did that way more to me than movies ever did. Because I feel like movies just became like corny and like overuse the same tropes. Like the person wouldn't be scary is just like some deformed, like slight deformed dude, and they're like, oh, it went through radiation. Oh, he was born that way, and society rejected him. I feel like I go to repeat the formula so much, and I feel like Blair Witch, it was like at least like, oh, these are real haunted things like in the world, and that's different, like even if it isn't like complete like, oh, this is cursed. Look, it's floating, and it just cursed everyone in this room. It's like it was different. It was genuine. Yeah,
because with the Blair Witch Project, right? A lot of people. It was very scary during its time because since the internet was like very young, right? Not a lot of people had like information like what's real, what's fake. It's basically the Wild West at that point. But when that movie like got released, right, people thought that it was real to the point where people got like worried and all that such as well, especially like the ending. Like you don't even know like what happened at the ending because you don't even know if it's like supernatural or is it like a serial killer type of situation. The lack of information is what made it scary, with like internet as well. There's this movie called Gonjang Haunted Asylum. It was like it was the format of like the videotape-esque like internet media parody like movies and all such from Korea, and I think it was like very interesting so far because it was very scary. Like I know it's in this day and age there's like different types of like horror-esque like not horror but like internet media horror like type movies that are shown in the big screen, but it was very scary because it's like on one hand you have like they talk about the history and all such, and all of a sudden like all their stuff begins to like fail. Like for example, like the guy was like using the drone. This guy for some reason has a drone and all such, and all of a sudden it just like dies out of nowhere and all such, and it was very like wild as well.
It's scary,
Yeah, I think one thing as well that in terms of like connected it is I used to be scared a lot about like I used to be scared with horror movie posters back in the day.
Really?
There's this because I don't know. I used to back in the day. I used to go. I won't say camping, but more like I go to my aunt's place, just for the weekend, all such, just to just to visit them, all such. And then I one of my cousins had like posters around their room and all such. And one of the things that scared me the most was I think the Ring poster, especially. I don't know, because the thing was that it was okay, so from the room where I was staying, right, it was like very direct on like whenever I go out, right, I go to like, because the place where I live, right, it's like in the I won't say middle of nowhere, that's kind of weird, but like let's say like up north, in a bit, it's like, where it's not like near a city.
It's like kind of countryside.
Kind of countryside, but it's more like suburban area, and the house was like very pitch dark to the point where like you don't see like anything. And then all of a sudden, like I just turned on my light, and all of a sudden, then I turn left and I see that poster. I'm like, oh no.
I had a similar thing growing up. So, my parents, they left my door open, right?
Oh no.
Because they were like, if something ever happens, like, it's easier for you to open the door and run out,
Yeah.
So it's like, whatever, that's cool. And basically, I would have insomnia as a kid, right?
Oh no.
So I couldn't sleep that often. So your eyes try to adapt to the dark. So
Yeah.
like outside my hallway, I swear to God to you, I always just saw Slender Man just staring back at me, and I was like, bro,
Creepy. Oh.
dude, I don't know why I was so
Creepypastas.
scared of Slender Man.
Oh,
Dude,
man. Creepypastas back then were the thing, dude. Like user created like monsters and all that such.
like I Am God, or yeah,
Smile God, Smile Dog, I think.
no. Smile Dog's a different one. That
Oh.
one's the dog smiling. I'm talking about like I Am God. That was like an ARG horror one.
Oh,
Where it was like, this guy was like, yo, some dude just sent me this random like
Chainmail?
file. Yeah, it was like a chainmail type thing, and then it was like, people were trying to decipher it and stuff like that, and then in the end, it was a picture of like, it was like this like deep fried picture of like this dude smiling, and then the caption says, "I am God."
that sounds like Smile Dog though. I don't know. It might be the same, but
I don't remember what Smile Dog is.
so Smile Dog in terms of like the lore or whatever, the lore hasn't been like
It hasn't
fully
been.
fleshed out, I guess,
Yeah.
in a way. But the thing is that it was basically a cursed photo where it was like a photo where it's basically a smiling dog, but it's very grotesque. But the thing was that if you viewed the video, I think you died by like you had like a time limit on your life basically.
Yeah.
I may be wrong on like whoever's listening to this. I may be wrong with like the details and such, but that's what I guess I remember back in the day.
I know there's a new smiling dog. I've seen it on TikTok a couple of times. Where it's like, yeah, it's just like it's like photoshopped, I think, but it's just like this dog outside this dude's house, but then like he takes like a picture of it behind like the door, so you could only see like half of it, but it's like sitting right in front of his door, and it's like smiling. It has like human eyes, and then he was like, "Oh, I just called the what is it? The people that pick up like wild animals."
You mean I forgot the specific name, but there are people.
Yeah, like
Wildlife protection, whatever.
Yeah, like
whatever.
wildlife protection,
Yeah.
and then like they're like, I called wildlife protection, and then I described the dog to them, and they just said, "Run and protect your kids," and hung up on me. What should I do? And then
That sounds like a freaking.
yeah.
That sounds like a.
So they're trying to like bring Smile Dog back, but
Yeah,
I don't think it's gonna come back.
Nah, because
Copypastas died out.
No,
And-
creepypastas. Yeah, creepypastas are still there, but it's not
Oh,
like
yeah.
as popular as it is
Yeah,
back in the
dude.
day. But I think, in terms of like media, like I think the other one was SCP, the SCP
Ooh,
Foundation.
SCP is like fire. I'm still into SCP to this day.
Yeah, because SCP is a very big thing, especially because it's similar to creepypastas, but more if
It's way more fleshed
it's
out.
way more it's way more wild because the aspect of SCP is that it is this organization called Secure, Contain, Protect, and Secure, Contain, Protect is known for catching anomalies, whether it be like intangible ones, like a thought or whatever, to like monsters or whatever. So there's like many like entries and all of such, and they get crazier. There's a specific one. There's a specific one that I wanna like talk about, but it's like a very like very morbid one. It's I forgot the specific name, but it's like a Keter class SCP bug. It's like a
Keter classes, aren't those like one of the most dangerous?
dangerous ones, because I think what people know is the weeping angel type statue like creature where if you don't look at it, it will like freak you. It will
I feel like people would know
run at
the
Mach
Shy-
speed.
Yeah, and I think people know Shy Guy too. That one's like one of the more popular
Yeah.
ones.
Keter class SCP. I forgot the specific name. So, the aspect of this SCP was more of like it's like a moth. It was like a very like morbid like SCP where it does like very ritualistic like, how should I say this, like ritualistic like things. They will like, it's like Cousin Jimmy specific. I think. Let me double check it. Uncle SCP. Oh yes, I found it. I think. Oh my. So yeah, it's a Keter it's a very like dangerous SCP 2852. It's a very like danger. Yeah, it's like a cicada like
Yeah.
shape shifting thing, and the thing is that it's very like dangerous to the point where, like, if you go close on it, you'll basically like be brainwashed, and it does like very like bad stuff as well. Like
That one sounds like the water eel one, where it's like
I
super
think so.
long, and then
Yeah.
it's like if you get near it, you fall
Yeah,
asleep.
you can probably read it on your own, but I don't want to say a lot of stuff because this is
Dude,
very like
it is. There's like, I wanna. Isn't there like 5,000 entries so far?
yeah, there's like a bunch of entries and stuff. A bunch of entries to the, and then there's like different games as well. There's a recent game that I'm playing called SCP-5K where it's like FPS survival. It's like a FPS horror basically.
Which one is 5K?
Yes, SCP. Well, previously it's called SCP Pandemic, but they renamed it to 5K, but it's based on SCP-5000. So this basically SCP-5000 in terms like the normal story, because they haven't finished the game. SCP-5000 is about it's about the you are a rogue SCP like mobile task force team. You are a partner of like basically the FBI of like the paranormal division, and your task is to destroy the foundation,
Yeah.
because they're going to commit like omnicide on the humanity because they, for some reason and all that such, turns out that there's this, yeah, it's basically like let's just say it didn't happen on like it's like an alternate reality thing basically. It's not something that happened like in the normal
I know
like
what you're talking about.
timeline of the SCP basically.
I like. What is it based on a comic? I swear to
It's
God.
not based. It's based on a story.
Yeah, the Days Gone story, is it that one? I don't know.
SCP-5K.
Because that sounded familiar, and it's like, doesn't the dude get like a
It's basically
cool robot
yes,
suit?
Yeah, it's a suit basically.
And then he has to bring like this briefcase to like the center of everything.
Yeah, SCP-5K is basically like, it's called the Absolute Exclusion Harness, aka the suit, which basically was meant to basically travel to different dimensions, and yeah, so yeah, let's just say it went to the point where like the SCP, like mobile task force, right? Like they're basically like the squads.
They're the fodder.
The-
Let's be real.
Yeah, I mean it depends on the group, but yeah, mainly. But it turns out that within the world, it's basically like wild because they're
I would hate living in the SCP world.
yeah, because they like harm themselves in terms of way in that alternate universe. So just to double check. Oh, you didn't feel any pain.
Yeah,
It's kind of wild. I'm like, oh. So yeah, but it's an interesting like aspect. But yeah, getting back to like the topic of like media and film, one of the interesting like things that I've been watching, that I've watched, was Saw. Saw is
oh, did you see the new one?
I saw the new one. It's
What did you think?
I think it's solid for what it is. The thing is that it's I don't know, it's kind of interesting though, because it's like, before that we have Spiral, right?
Yeah.
Which is it's like a spin-off of Jigsaw, and it's
Isn't it also like weirdly? Isn't this technically like the second?
technically set on this yes, after the first one, which is like way back when.
Yeah, and it's like, I remember people were talking about it, it's like it's kind of weird that he cares about like all these like all these norms now, considering like
it's basically like a twisted like thought process basically, in terms like salvation, in his like viewpoint salvation, because in Saw there's like a bunch of like traps and stuff. It depends on the trap, but you will basically be most likely like be losing something, like a body part or something or a person or whatever, but you will most likely be like losing something and such. But yeah.
Look, someone sent a GIF, and they were wondering if that was what you were talking to. Can you not see?
Yeah, no, I can't control. Yeah, scroll down. Like, scroll down, because the thing.
I am scrolling.
It's not scrolling down.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh man, technology is a great thing, but yeah, you have to like aim it at the right side of the browser. But Is this connected to like the smile dog thing?
I don't think it was like the first thing.
That's the jump scare video. Yes, that's a jump scare video. So yeah, this was back in the era of like the maze game and all that such. It's very like wild so far to like experience, But yeah,
it's crazy to think about how far horror's gotten,
Yeah, horror has gotten very like interesting so far, because you from like jump scares, right, to like internet horror, to like the monster of the week, like Freddy, Jason, and all that such as well. I'm kind of interested. It's kind of interesting that we haven't gotten like a Freddy or Jason like reboot ish thingy, because
I feel
Michael technically recently got one. Which is interesting.
Kinda, I guess, but it's like the story. Like Scott didn't finish the story. He's like bringing it into like sister location, and like the new DLC. It's like not Freddy. I mean, I'm talking about Oh my.
The actual one.
I was wondering.
Not Five Nights at Freddy's. So I'm talking about like Jason Voorhees,
in my
Freddy.
Head, in my head, I was like, no way, he's putting Freddy Fazbear and then Jason Voorhees as like icons. But I'm like, all right, whatever, I'll roll with it.
No. I'm talking about like the classic horror icons.
You said Mike, and I thought, all right,
I said Michael. Michael from Michael Myers. I was gonna say, I was like, huh? But
I mean,
yeah.
I feel like Freddy is like such a dreamer man.
Yeah.
I feel like, what could you do that's really scary,
Yeah.
with that? It's like, at the time it was scary, but now it's like, I feel like people just clown on it,
I guess, but it's kind of I don't know how I felt about the Michael Myers like Halloween, the recent one, because I think from what I've known so far is that the first reboot ish era was like the best, but after that was it was kind of
didn't they go like, the reason like
they made a second well, the thing was that they made a second one, right, and then they made a third one, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, didn't they go like, the reason he hasn't died is because he has extreme hatred.
Yeah, extreme like hatred. I'm like, what?
That's so cringe. That's such a cringy reason.
The thing was that
like superhuman or something, dude.
Something. I'll be honest, they haven't explained it, because they technically this one was like the reboot one takes place after like the I think the first movie. I don't know how to explain it, because there's like a bunch of movies.
That's another thing I hate about like horror movies, when they have like a huge franchise, is when they're like, okay, so 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1 through 4 aren't in order, so you're gonna start at 1.
Yeah,
you're gonna watch 3 to 4
3 to 4,
and then but 4 only makes sense if you've watched the entire spin-off featuring Jigsaw. And it's like, bro, just make. I know, like,
that's what I felt with like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what I felt with the Saw.
Yeah, especially since it's after Saw like 10 now, dude. It's like,
after like three. Yeah, after like 3, it got like hella insane.
It's like, okay, you're gonna watch
you
Saw
got 3.
1?
You got 7, which is called Saw 3D. I'm like, what?
Yeah, dude. You're gonna watch 1, 10, 6, 3. It's like, bro, no, I'm not watching the order. I'm just watching the YouTube video.
The thing is that with like, getting back to Saw, the thing is that for the most part, it's like, it's all bad endings. That's the thing. Like, it's all bad endings in part of like whoever is like the main character, because they do like they make very bad decisions. We got to the point where we came back to like Saw 1.5. Saw 1.5 is fine, but
they're competing with Fast and the Furious. Well, like how much they could stretch out the franchise.
Fast and Furious will be something else when you talk about cars or something, because that's something else.
Family.
There's like a bunch of like actors and actresses in there. I'm like, man.
I know, yeah. And then, dude,
if you see the recent one, is even wilder.
The recent one is so funny, dude. Trust, guys. If you don't take it seriously at all,
if you don't take it seriously, it's fine. Funny. It's fine. If you don't take it seriously, it's fine. Let's just say, but
like, rent it on YouTube or something for like, why even rent it? What am I saying? Pirate it. And then
If you've seen,
we don't
if you-
condone piracy. We are just saying
yeah, we'll probably talk about it in we'll probably talk about it in the future episode, but yeah, it's I want to talk about the last few minutes when the time comes, because it's wild. I don't know how to explain it, but it is insane. Yeah. It's
dude, it's just funny. It's
funny.
it's so funny how ridiculous it is. Like,
we went from street racing, right? We went to
legit racing to
heist
to cars having harpoon like 3D maneuver gear, and then climbing.
We have Formula 1 cars with ramps.
Yeah,
oh
and then hey, we got family.
Let's go. Yeah, it's that's something else to talk about. But yeah, just to like these last few minutes, kind of want to talk about, like, you know, like, are you familiar with A24? Like the studio. You know, like they make very like solid like horror movies. Like,
yeah,
that it's not like scary. Hereditary is like the most like.
Well, because their most recent one's really good. Now it's like now you talk to me or something.
Oh, Talk to Me.
Oh yeah,
It's about that
one was really good.
Raka Fleka is the YouTuber who made it, and I used to watch its content back in the day. You know, especially like the Halo versus Call of Duty Juggernaut one. That was pretty solid of a video. But yeah, he directed the video. He directed like the film and produced it with his like crew and such, and it's pretty solid. Like A24 like slaps with like horror stuff, especially.
Yeah, I want to say it wasn't even like the horror aspect, you know. It's just like it's just like the direction that it takes sometimes, and you just not being able to predict it.
Yeah,
like because I don't know if I should spoil, but
it's very like there's like themes, right? It's not like, you know, your typical like monster of the flick where it's just like, oh, like gore or whatever. It's basically like, you know, it's connected to like their trauma, right? So it's I don't want to like explain it really, because it's very good.
I think what makes it really good too is like the concept where it isn't like where it's like, oh, let's all stay away from it. It's like they make it into a party game.
Yeah, they make it into like a thing,
and then everyone does it, and it's like, that's interesting because like,
and then they get hurt.
Yeah, like realistically, like a lot of people, like I feel like there would be a group of people that do like mess with spirits like that just for the fun of it.
Just for the fun of it, you know, similar to like, you know, those types of like the 3 a.m. videos, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like that's really what kind of drew me into the film, because then like we could see them, like, even though they're still following the rules, like they're still doing everything like
correct.
Yeah, like
they haven't like broken anything technically, but
it still goes wrong because like
that's just how it is. Because, you know, with yeah, it basically, the concept is that like you contact like the spirits or whatever through the hands, similar to like the Ouija board, right? But I think it takes over you. Like, just to be clear, it takes over you. So it's basically like a drug, basically.
So basically a spirit enters your body.
Yeah.
And it tries to gain control over your body. That's why they have them strapped down.
Oh.
But then if you let go of the hand within 45 seconds,
yeah,
it will it disconnects the spirit. So, a lot of the time, since it's like a party thing, they like, we see different people, and then they like freak out because like they're seeing ghosts.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know. I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, don't spoil it. But that's basically the concept.
Yeah, something happens, and then like
that's basically the concept, basically. Yeah.
And then it goes bad.
Yeah, but yeah, it's A24 is popping up, especially because it's like, it's not just like the scare aspect, but it's more of like the creepiness factor, especially. Just to like talk about it just for a bit. Hereditary, I think the first like scary movie that I've seen from their company. It's like, it's very like scary in terms of like, you know, the concept of like, you know, like possession and all that such, and like, you know, heredity, as it says. So
dude, I just want to say this real quick. I'm checking IMDb's top 50 horror movies and TV shows.
Oh no.
And you know, like the first two, I'm like, all right, that's all right. I haven't watched them. Maybe they're good. It's the Fall of the House of Usher.
Oh yes.
And then Goosebumps. And then take a wild guess at what number 3 is at, even though it hasn't released yet.
Can you give me a hint?
FNAF.
FNAF. What the?
I don't get it.
They haven't released it yet, though.
Yeah.
Wait, is this like a top of all time, or is it top of like recent?
I think recent.
But they haven't released it yet. What the?
Exactly. So
I mean, it's IMDb, but at the same time, it's released.
It's somehow like third one on the list. Better than Saw X.
Saw X.
So
we'll see.
Well, you know where to spend your money now.
We'll see. But yeah, just to get back just for a bit before we end. So Hereditary, it's like a family that had like a funeral of like their grandma or something along those lines, and one by one the family just like dies in gruesome ways. The youngest, I think, died by getting decapitated or sorts when they were going to the hospital. The second one, I think, was the father where he got torched by the book, because that's wild. And then the last one, just like the mom, she got possessed and did some crazy stuff. So yeah, it's a very wild film, because it's especially like the concept of like, hereditary, and like the fact that you have a cult that followed you all throughout your life and such, and they've been like proctoring every single moment. It's been like hella scary. And what's interesting is that the demon is like called like Paimon or something. I'm like, what? It's like from Genshin Impact. Like, okay, but
well, of course you had a connection.
Oh, but yeah, it's been a while though. But yeah, that's all for episode tonight. Thank you all for listening at this time. Yeah, as always, thank you for listeing.
Yeah, dude. Get home safe.
As always.
Stay safe.
Well, we also posted our videos from our last two episodes on our YouTube channel. At KSFS-NerdingOut. Yeah, check us out there. We'll be posting some more stuff in the future. Also, just a small announcement. I will be at Fan Expo at Black Friday weekend. I don't know when that is, but it's there. I will be there as always. I'll be recording some videos and all that such, and just visiting stuff.
If you see Nico, you're a big fan of him. $20 per autograph.
Autograph. But yeah, I'll be there as always. Just doing some stuff doing some stuff. Meeting folks and guests and checking the booths for merch, even though I'm broke. But yeah, I'll be there. I think all 3 days, hopefully. But yeah, other than that, thank you all for listening in. We'll be back next week for the Halloween episode. And as always, take care, y'all. Stay safe. Have a safe drive home. And as I said before, we'll see you guys next week. Take care, y'all. 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. See y'all. Take care. Bye-bye.